aromatic adventures with the candle Enthusiast.
You know, let's face it, every day I'm looking for a great cup of coffee. In fact, every few hours I'm looking for some coffee. But there's only one place that I can think of to get coffee when I'm in the location that I'm in. I am in Seattle, Washington, down at the public market on Pike Street, the location of the very first Starbucks. I've made Starbucks videos before. I've compared different blends. I've made my own Starbucks coffee utilizing different brewing techniques. But today I want to see if the original location, the very first Starbucks, is serving up the best. Is it going to be okay? Is it going to be subpar? Is it going to be passable? Or will it be just about the greatest cup of Starbucks coffee I've ever experienced? Well, there's truly only one way to find out. And it's at this point that I want to welcome you to join me. That is, if you're interested. You are? Well, then let's do this. So I'm getting closer to the destination that is the priority today, and I'm seeing that there is quite a bit of a line. But that is certainly no issue because I have no problem waiting to experience firsthand a little bit of coffee cafe history. Wouldn't you wait in line to experience a little bit of coffee history? Of course you would wait in line.
Open your eyes, look at me. You'll see things in a different way. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop, it'll put me here. It'll be better than before. Yesterday's gone, yesterday's gone. Take it down. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I got my Pike Place Starbucks coffee. Went classic, their signature house blend in the grande size. I have my holiday cup, fulfilling the Christmas spirit here in downtown Seattle. So let's give this a swig and see if the very first Starbucks location serves up the best Starbucks cup of coffee. That's really what this is all about. It would be very easy for me to milk this situation, to say, oh, this is fantastic. Of course it's fantastic. It's the first Starbucks location. But I am wholeheartedly saying to you right now that this is a solid cup of coffee, up there in some of the best Starbucks cups of coffee you can get anywhere. And I've been to many Starbucks locations. This hasn't been brewed with any out of the ordinary method. No pour overs, no French presses, no clovers. It's black, of course. I'm a coffee purist that way. This is a standard drip coffee, but their turnover is so quick because there's so many people coming in and out of those doors that the coffee is always fresh. And let me tell you, that shows. And to say that Starbucks might hold their original location to a higher standard, well, that also could be true, because as I've said, this is just as solid as any cup of coffee I can imagine. For Starbucks, anywhere else, it's bright, it's clean, it has a full, round, velvety, soft texture, mouthfeel. The acidity is in check. So it gives you a little bit of that refreshing salivation, cleansing your palate, making you ready for the next sip. But the true impressive nature to this cup is the intensity of the flavor, and layered with chocolate and spice and citrus, but also the finish. I can still taste this coffee lingering in my mouth, even though I took a sip about 30 seconds ago. These are all the little check boxes that you're looking for when you're trying to rate how good a coffee is. Acidity, mouthfeel, concentration, viscosity, clarity, and the finish. And for Starbucks, let me be clear about that. For a Starbucks cup of joe, I'm quite happy, I'm quite satisfied. I'm enjoying this experience, looking out at the water, hearing the birds, the troubadours, seeing the sailboats in the distance, and feeling that sunshine on my face and beating off my sunglasses. This is a good way to experience Seattle. This is a good way to experience Starbucks coffee. However, it would be a shame to be here and simply just talk about coffee. How about we get on foot and take a look around? Let's navigate the pavement, even go inside the market as well, and see what they're serving up. What do they have inside? Well, there's only one way to find out. There's certainly a hustle and bustle to this place. People rushing in, shopping, getting the produce that they need, the freshest stuff around in the city. Look at the size of those apples right there. I'm gonna put my fist right next to it so you can get a perspective how gargantuan they really are. Sensory overload. Also, the buzz of holiday cheer and holiday shopping in the air. Culinary delights. I'm seeing fresh meats, barbecue. We have smoked meats. And let's not forget about all of the baked goods as well. What you would imagine, only the freshest of seafood. The smell is delightful. And think about how much seafood products that are inside that little area, and yet it smells so fresh. Smells just like the sea. So right inside of these windows is where they filmed one of the sequences in Sleepless in Seattle. The sequence is with Tom Hanks and Rob Reiner having lunch at this counter right here. And although the restaurant is currently closed, we can get a clear view of the two stools and where they sat in this classic Nora Ephron film that is quite timeless and synonymous with Seattle. There certainly is a very specific destination downstairs that I'm looking for. There's a place that I have to stop by, and that is going to be Pike Street's Magic Shop. It's been here at this location for 48 years. It's got everything you need: magic, illusions, gags. It's fun, it's mystical, it's even a little bit spooky. And you can imagine all of the magicians, illusionists who've stepped foot into this iconic shop throughout the years. Let's go inside and see a little bit of the history of magic, some artifacts. I think that would be a good idea.
Clap your hands, Michael. Clap your hands.
And it comes right back.
Look, you brought the ball back?
How'd you do that?
How do you do that?
Watch very carefully. Clap your hands again. And it disappears. It ends up right back down here in my pocket.
That's so nice.
So right down here by Ghost Alley Espresso, we have the historic Post Alley Street. A lot of history to the streets. We see the cobblestones that I'm walking on, but it also has a little bit more of contemporary artistic history as well. There is this tunnel, or an alleyway, that is affectionately known, I don't know if affectionately is the right word, but it is called the Gum Wall. That's right, people visit from all around the world to come here to walk down this stone pathway, to gaze, to be amazed by the hundreds of thousands of wads of gum that are lined on these walls. Not only that, they partake in the tradition. People visit from all around the world to this little space to stick a piece of gum on the wall by adding their own gum. But see, this isn't just the littering. This isn't just disposing of gum as garbage. This is street art. After taking a look at it myself, I am willing to make that statement. I mean, how much different is this from street art, graffiti, chalk art? It's amazing to see how creative folks will get with the gum. They'll spell things out, they'll write their name. There's cryptic images. There's sculptural components. And they do clean this alleyway about every 2 years. But could you imagine for just a moment what this place would look like if they didn't clean all of the gum off the walls? You probably wouldn't even be able to walk down this alleyway. So here it is, in the flesh. So, if you've heard this story about the gum wall in Seattle, and you weren't sure if it was just a story, a myth, something that goes around by word of mouth, well, I'm here to show to you, to prove to you, that it is no myth. It does exist. The gum wall here on Post Alley. It's worth a visit if you're in the area. And no, it does not smell like bubble gum. All right, folks, so I would consider this a successful trip, at least for myself. I got to enjoy my first Starbucks location, Pike Place coffee. It's still delicious and pretty warm. If you've never been, you know what I'm gonna say. Take a pit stop when you're in the vicinity or in Seattle. Come down, grab yourself a cup of coffee, but make sure you check out the market and all of the little hidden gems that are tucked away in this place. So I will be seeing you folks soon, but until then, be good and have an aromatic day. Car's locked. Where'd I put the keys?